Hello, hey. Hi guys. So we are live for today's live trading session. So maybe we could start. So hey, what's up guys? Yeah, maybe we could start for today's live trading session. And hopefully you could also gain some education on for today's live trading session. So yeah, I guess we could start. So yeah, by the way, for most traders aren't losing because the market is hard. They're losing because they're overcomplicating everything. In this live trading session, we're focusing on the market updates for the pairs that I'm interested in right now and using simple technical price action analysis to assess the recent movements of how price are reacting to the current expectations. And for those who are new here, by the way, I'm Ruffy Capacio, a technical trading analyst here at ACY Securities. And my approach in trading is centered around technical and pure price action, and I just love keeping things clean and simple. That is why I'm just basing all my analysis using only simple price action analysis. So, and by the way, I'm also a proprietary trader, and I've built my experience through funded trading, applying strict risk management and real capital discipline in how I approach the markets every single day. So, I think before we start, quick reminder before we begin, this is not just a quick reminder before we begin. This is not a financial advice. This is simply my personal view of the markets based on the price action and current market structure. Just to let you guys know that trading always involves risk. There are no guarantees. So make sure you manage your risk properly, do your own research, and never risk money you're not prepared to lose. So yeah, I think before we begin, uh maybe we could watch a little bit on the fundamental side so that we could know whether there is a volatility in the markets. So maybe we could check some news now. As you can see here, we're currently at the FinLogics, and probably we could just go to, if you want to see or if you want to know about the news that could come up within the week, or you want to be updated on the following fundamentals or news, you could just go to FinLogics, and maybe we could watch an economic calendar. And today is Tuesday. So last Monday live trading session, we already watched that probably there is some potential news or events that could potentially trigger this upcoming Tuesday trading session. So I think all we had is to possibly look some news, and just to let you guys know that I just tend to use the news as a catalyst because the price action already told me or already given me some direction, and I just use the technical analysis for whether there could be volatility in the markets. So I think that's it, and probably we could zoom this a little bit so that you could actually see this, guys. As you can see, Monday, I actually don't look much on the CNY pair, Chinese yen pair. Tuesday today, there is some volatility on the JPY pairs last HS session, and also for the AUD pairs. As you can see here, 8:30 and 9:30. I'm currently in Manila time. Probably it's still Asia session. Excuse me. And probably the GPY is already having its news, because it already started 2 p.m. And as you can see here, currently there is a 5% negative on the JPY pairs. So therefore, this is already telling us that the JPY pairs are already weakened. Because when you see here, 5%, it is color red. Therefore, it is showing weakening on the JBP pairs. But as you can see here, there is a positive, a green percentage on the JPY. Therefore, JPY is possibly having its strength. And also on the AUD. So you can see here 3.5%. That is how easy to look the fundamental side is. But the downside on this, looking on news, I can't actually predict whether it could have push bullish or bearish, because as you can see, the news could just pop up within its time. So therefore, we can't actually predict whether it could lean towards the bullish side or the bearish side. That is why I have explained that news is just a catalyst on my strategy. Possibly it could just give some volatility, but I really don't lean towards looking for some edge on the news. You can see here, after the pre-London started, there is a 5% down on the GPB pairs, but possibly there is also a news, an inflation rate on the Canadian dollar also. And probably we'll see if there is, or possibly it could affect some of our setups. So I think feel free to ask. I also want you guys, while I'm doing my analysis, I also want you guys to watch your chart so that you could also see what I'm seeing. So yeah, Top Poila, welcome to the live trading session. So feel free to ask in the live chat, guys, if you have some questions. And also Wednesday, there is some high impact news and inflation rate on GBP. And this upcoming Thursday, there is a lot of news on the USD pairs, JPY, Euro, GBP again, and also on the major pairs, USD. And there is a FOMC. Possibly this could give, or much give, some volatility in the markets. And I think that's it. And on the upcoming Friday, also on the JPYs again, the Euro pairs, and also for GBP. So I think all we had is to watch this news. Possibly there's still a news that could happen on New Year's session, which is the inflation rate for Canadian dollar. So yeah, I think that's maybe, like, let's look at our chart. Possibly there could be some already have played out from our setup that we are watching. So maybe without further ado, maybe we could watch our chart. So wait for a second, guys. So I think that's, maybe we could start looking our chart. So wait for a second, let me set it up. So yeah, I think we could start looking our chart now. As you can see here, currently we are at USD CAD. But before we start looking at it on these pairs, probably we could start looking at gold. Gold is one of the most traded, a lot of traders really love to trade it. Possibly because it creates some clean structures. And as you can see here, we anticipated this move on gold. As you can see, there is an arrow here and also an arrow here indicating an anticipation. But I have explained this live trading session. You could just rewatch it on our YouTube channel, the last live trading session last Monday. And I have explained that the price could potentially entering this consolidation zone. Possibly once price entering this zone, it could have its consolidation right exactly in this area. So all we had to do is possibly to anticipate, because once price is stuck inside this daily resistance zone and support zone, possibly price could potentially consolidate. Now we could actually look on a 4-hour chart. Now as you can see on this 4-hour chart, currently we are at a 4-hour chart. Once price entered right exactly on this consolidation box or inside this daily resistance and daily support, price tend to have its consolidation. As you can see here, consolidate. Every time it approach this area, it could just reject, right? Right after this, it approach the support zone, it just go back to the upside. Now, we couldn't, or we should not force our trades in entering right exactly in this area on the spot. Possibly the best thing is to anticipate or to wait for the breakouts, whether for this breakout on the daily resistance or in the daily support zone. So nothing to force inside this, because currently on watching on this current price, that this is not a coincidence, right? Exactly, it rejects this strong daily support zone. Even though it is in a support zone, yes, we could actually buy inside this, but we already know that it could potentially consolidate inside this area, right? So therefore, maybe we couldn't catch an exact healthy risk reward, because we already know that we will target a 1:2 minimum risk reward ratio. Because as you can see here, if we take this trade inside this daily support zone, yes, we are above. Once we are above, we will use it as a support, because currently on this price action on gold, price is above this daily support zone. Therefore, it will use it as a support. Because as you can see here in the previous data, once it is above support, currently we at above, possibly we could catch some support. So maybe we could slide this a little bit. So currently it is above, possibly we could find some buying opportunities, but we already know that possibly this could have a consolidation with exactly in this area. As you can see here, touches the support zone, again going back to the upside. It approaches this resistance zone, again push to the downside, it rejected the support, push to the upside. Now possibly it could just consolidate. Yes, we could find some buying opportunities, but the risk reward is not worth it. As you can see here, only 1:1.2 risk reward. I already told you guys that the sustainable risk reward to take once the trade gives you a 1:2, therefore you can take it. But even though this looks beautiful, price didn't give us a healthy risk reward, therefore it is not worth it. So the best anticipation is to use the break and retest pattern that could happen in a market. As you can see on this previous data, let me show you guys a replay. Now probably we could just go a little bit further. Yeah, right exactly in this area. Now we already knew that there is a strong resistance zone exactly. Now let me play this out. Now right exactly in this, there is a strong resistance zone. So you can see here resistance, here support. Once break, acted as a support. Now price already have its break. Now the second step is to wait for the retest so that it could potentially continue to rally to the upside. Now I have explained that break and retest is a good strategy to use for a pro trend continuation. This is a bullish, therefore the best thing to wait is a break and retest resistance zone so that it could act as a support for it to continue push to the downside. As you can see here, this is the previous this level acted previously as a resistance, but once it is broken, then it could potentially act as a support. Now let me show you guys a little bit that I have posted on the educational series, educational blog series for the break and retest. By the way, the link is in the description below for the ACY website. All you have to do is go to acy.com Now, as you can see, I have already opened it. Once you already have opened our website, go to News and Analysis. And as you can see here, I have already posted it on the ACY website. And you could just look for this title, The Break and Retest, How to Capitalize Repetitive Pattern in Trading. Break and retest pattern, just like I have said, it always happens in the markets. But if you actually look much broader view, you can see this price action that always happen in the markets. As you can see here, I have explained that how exactly does a break and retest pattern work. Now these are the steps. First would be the breakout. Whether it could break out the resistance or support, because that level could act as a support or resistance. That is why I called it a level, because once it is above, therefore it could potentially act as a support. Once it is below, it could act as a resistance. Now the first step is the breakout. The market could or should strongly breaks a level so that it could potentially call as a breakout. The next thing that it could happen is a retest. Price pulls back to the test level, to test the broken level right after the breakout. So right after the breakout of the resistance zone, it could pull back and test the broken level and potentially act as a support. So the next step is the rejection. Right after the retest, it could touch the level and possibly reject so that it could have its continuation push to the upside. Now let me show you a bullish example of the break and retest. Now as you can see here, right exactly on this breakout, because this is a strong resistance zone, this blue rectangle, I call this as a resistance zone because previously price is below, therefore it could act as a resistance. Now the first step of the break and retest is the breakout. Right after that breakout of the strong daily resistance zone, it could have the next step is it could have a retest. That is why it is called a break, a breakout, and a retest of the broken level, potentially acting as a, because previously this is acted as a resistance because it is below. Now right after the breakout, we already knew that the price is already above this daily resistance zone and potentially acting as a support because currently price is above. Now after that retest, the third step is a rejection. Right after the rejection, now look what happened. It rallied to the upside. Okay guys, you understand? Now let me show you on our chart. Now as you can see here, we already knew that the breakout is, sorry, there is an alarm happening. Right after this breakout, we already knew that we already have plotted a strong daily resistance level. Now the breakout has already happened. Maybe type the breakout, the break has already happening. Now we are going to anticipate the retest. Now let me show you guys the retest. Now that is already a retest because it is already touching this daily resistance zone because this is already broken, price is above, therefore it is already acting as a support because once price is above, support, below, resistance, price above, floor. Just I'm giving you a simple view. Price above, acting as a floor. Once price is below, acting as a ceiling. So therefore, once price is above, support, below, resistance. Simple view, support is equals to floor, resistance equals to ceiling. The same concept as a house. The floor is below, right? So therefore, we call it as a support. But once price is below, therefore same as for the house analogy, house has a ceiling. So you already got it. You already got it, guys. Now, as you can see here, price is above. So therefore, this is already acting as a support. Now, as you can see here, support. All we had to wait is the third step, the rejection. Now, right after that rejection touches the level, now probably we could have our buying opportunities on the lower time frame. Maybe we are looking much deeper on the lower time frame. If you want to learn more about my step-by-step process of my simple price action strategy, you could just watch the daily live breakdown, because I'm just sharing all my analysis every day, and probably you could just rewatch it. Also, for the blogs that I have posted on the ACY website, you could just watch it if you want to know more deep dive of our market or my simple price action. But we also have a Discord. You could join up for free. The link is in the description below. Inside that Discord, I shared my deeper insight of my simple price action strategy. So if you want to join, you could just click the link below and sign up now. Now, as you can see here, let's get back to our break and retest analysis on gold. Now, this is a previous data because we are watching it for a replay. Now, right exactly in this retest, the third step is the rejection, right? So this is already rejecting, therefore we are entering this trade already, putting our stop loss below. Now, right after that entry, so we are targeting 1 is to 2.5 risk reward. Now, watch how watch how the market play out. Now, that wick already hit our take profit even more, but we already target at 1 is to 2.5. Therefore, this is how simple the break and retest pattern that always happens in the market. A lot of traders actually miss this, not even looking the market on the broader view, even though the market is already showing it every day, and a lot of traders miss this. So as you can see on this current price action, maybe we could look at back. Now, that is a bullish scenario for the break and retest, right? Now, let me show you how a break and retest works on a bearish scenario. Now, let's look back on this educational that I have posted for a break and retest pattern. Now, what I have shared to you guys is the break and retest pattern on a bullish scenario, because this is a bullish break and retest, right? Now, how a bearish break and retest looks like. Now, the same thing, I already showed you guys that once we are looking for selling opportunities, then we will wait for a break and retest of a support so that it could act as a resistance, right? Because once floor is broken, therefore it could act as a ceiling, right? Let me give you an analogy. If you already at your when you are at your floor, at your roof, but once you actually fall towards the ground level of your house, therefore the roof that you have fallen from, therefore you already have a ceiling, right? If you got it, it's just simple. Now, right exactly on this break of this support zone, then it could act as a retest, because as you can see, same logic on a break and retest of the bullish break and retest. It on the bearish scenario for the break and retest is to wait for the breakout of the support so that it could act as a resistance. Now, as you can see here, breakout this strong support level acting as a resistance. Now, as you can see, breakout, retest this daily support zone. Now, because price is below, then it is acting as a resistance. Then reject, which is the retest. Now, as you can see, right after the retest, rally, push to the downside. Now, as you can see on this current price action on gold, let me show you guys. Now, as you can see here, we already I already give you guys an example for the bullish side, right? For this break and retest patterns on this previous data. Let me show you guys the break and retest pattern on this previous data also, which is for the bearish scenario. Now, let me replay this area. So, right exactly this area, there is a strong daily support. As you can see here, resistance, resistance. Also here, a weak resistance. Therefore, this is a valid level. Now, right after the breakout of the strong support zone, then because price is currently below, therefore, it could potentially act as a resistance. We already knew that the break has already happened. The next thing that we are anticipating is the retest. Now, right after that, it retested. The third step is the rejection, right? So, right after that rejection, therefore, possibly we could enter our selling opportunities right exactly in this area. Maybe we are looking on the lower time frame for a proper entry. Now, possibly we could just target a 1:3.5 because there is a structure right exactly in this area that it could potentially reject. Now, right after that break, we already have the retest. Now, the third step is we also the price is currently testing the daily support zone, acting as a resistance, right? Because price is already below, then the support level is already used as a resistance. Therefore, we already reject because it is already approaching the area. Then we already entered our selling opportunities. Right exactly in that sell, as you can see here, it didn't hit our stop loss. It hit our take profit. As you can see, this wick, this actually indicated that price already reached this area, therefore hit our take profit. That is how simply break and retest works. It is. It is just simple, but not a lot of traders use this. How ironic it is, right? It is simple. It always happens in the market. As you can see, break and retest. As you can see here, also break and retest support. Our resistance level acting as a support, push to the upside. Again, here again, as you can see, there is a resistance, breakout, a massive breakout, a massive retest pullback, again push to the upside. Here, break, strong support level, potentially acting as a resistance, push to the downside. Here again, break, retest, push to the upside. A lot of traders actually don't look a much broader view. That is why a lot of them miss this pattern. Now, I have explained it on a break and retest pattern. As you can see here on this break and retest educational series that I posted in ACY website. Now, I have explained here when should we use the break and retest pattern, right? So if you're wondering when could I use this pattern, so let me show you guys, because I also shared it that the best when could be the best time to use the break and retest. Now, I have explained it also on live trading session. I also want you, or I just want it to share it today, so that because the setup has already playing, and the break and retest pattern is one of the pattern that we will be using for those setups. Now, I have explained that the best time to use the break and retest pattern is during consolidation. I already explained that the current price action on gold is potentially entering a consolidation zone. As you can see here on this example, right exactly in this area, entering a consolidation. Therefore, we will wait for the breakout either way. Either this strong daily resistance level, or this daily or weekly rather support level. That is how you anticipate the move. That is why all of the patient trader, disciplined trader are catching the most higher probability setups because they are very patient. Now, looking at it, As you can see here also the examples that I've shared for the previous price action on gold for the break and retest, I call that as a pro continuation trend. But currently on this current price action, we are potentially consolidating on gold. For the previous price action example, that is a pro trend continuation. Also, break and retest is also good to use at that price action, exact price action. But today on gold, price is showing us a consolidation or potential consolidation in its current price action. Now, looking at it on this current price action, we can look at on the current price action in gold. Now, it is already entering this strong consolidation area. So, the best thing is to wait for the break and the retest. That's it. Because price is still having its move. Therefore, as traders to catch a higher probability setup, the patience is our edge. That's it, guys. No need to force trades inside this area. Even though we could catch some trades, not even worth it. Even though we could catch a trade right exactly in this area, because this current price action is already rejecting the strong daily support level. Even on the 30 minute, as you can see here in the 30 minute, it is rejecting this strong support level. As you can see here, this is not a coincidence. It is just the basic area that a lot of buyers defending this area. Because even at the 30 minute, it's having a hard time to having its breakout on this strong support level. It is having its rejection. Possibly if it approaches again the strong resistance level, it could have its rejection also, because potentially sellers are also defending this area. Now let's look on the 30 minute on the previous data. So you can see here, buyers defending the support level, sellers defending this resistance level. It is just bouncing. So possibly we could catch some trade in this exact area, but it is not worth it because it won't give us a healthy risk reward ratio that could give us a profitable edge in the long term. By the way, don't worry guys, I will be posting a risk management on the educational blog on the ACY website. I will be posting it, and by the way, just read it once I will be posting it. So just be updated. The link is in the description below if you want to read all my educational series. All of it is posted on the ACY website. And also, if you want to learn deeper more, just rewatch my daily live breakdown in the YouTube channel. So yeah, I think let's watch this, whether this upcoming Wednesday or Thursday, it could have its potential breakouts either way. So either of the breakout, we will catch it. Because if once it is having a daily breakout on the daily resistance zone, so therefore we are looking for buys, breakout for this daily support level, so therefore we are looking for sell. So yeah, any question about gold? Still anticipating. I know guys, my simple price action is not that much. Just being patient is my edge on this price action strategy. Because as you can see here, a lot of traders, if you watch a lot of trading, live trading session, a lot of them watching really on a lower time frame. They just catching maybe 5 to 10 pips, but that is just a little move on the daily chart. Because that is how I love doing day trading rather than scalping, because day trading won't give me a lot of stressful kind of stuff. I just wait for the market to come to my anticipated area, and so that I could decide my biases for the setups. That's it. So yeah, any question about gold, feel free to ask. So yeah, I think for the next pair also, maybe we could watch on crypto side. Now, as you can see here on crypto, last live trading session, I explained that I'm very bearish bias for this one because price is currently creating this downtrend market structure. Even looking it on a daily, as you can see here, lower low, lower high, lower low, potentially lower high. The best area that we could sell on a selling opportunity on a selling on the bearish trend is a lower high structure. As you can see, lower high, a lower low rather, lower high. Once price is creating a lower high, it could create a new lower low leg. Again, creating a new lower high, creating new lower low leg. Now, potentially here on the current price action on crypto on Bitcoin, price is creating this lower high, lower low structure, and potentially creating this last move in a lower high structure. Even creating this massive bearish engulfing, indicating a strong confirmation for a downtrend continuation. So all we had to do is to look much zoomer on the lower time frame, possibly in the daily chart, so that we could look key levels that we could position our opportunities, whether we buy or sell. So looking on the daily, we already knew that weekly is bearish, therefore the market is bearish. Daily is also bearish, and the market already give us a confluences that the market is bearish. So there's no point entering a buying position in a bearish trend. That is really called as a suicidal confluences. Sorry for the word, but it is what it is. A lot of traders catch some move, even catch some buying opportunities right exactly in a bearish trend. That they will be asking why I get hit, why my stop loss get hit, why is that, because they're not looking the exact market structure. And this is how simple price action works. I really rely much on the trend. Because the trend is our friend. One of the important key aspect is to trade with the trend, so that you could just catch the flow. Once a lot of traders are already sell. Therefore, you are just catching a better position on the exact spot of a lot of sellers entering the exact area. So as you can see, I already plotted this daily resistance level that potentially price could react. As you can see here, resistance, price is below. Once price is below, resistance. So all we had to do is to wait for the price to approach this daily resistance level. Again, the break and retest has already happened. The break has already happening because this is a daily support level. As you can see, breakout of this strong support level, potentially acting as a support. Once it is already having its move, then we call it as a retest. After the retest, rejects, then you push to the downside. So all we had to do is to put an alarm exactly on this daily resistance level, so that once price approaches this area, therefore we could catch some selling opportunities. And for the bullish scenario, once price could not really respect this exact area, so once price would have again a breakout on this daily resistance level, then it could have its bullish momentum. So either way, once price could really properly reject this area, so therefore we will use it as a resistance. Once price is having a breakout, not properly retesting this or rejecting this area, having its breakout, so therefore it could act as a support. So for the bullish scenario, break and retest of this daily resistance level. For the bearish scenario, properly retest, reject, push to the downside. So that's it for Bitcoin. Feel free to ask in the live chat, guys. So yeah, I think the market is still moving. I couldn't see whether we could find some buying or selling opportunities right exactly in this on this live trading session. So we will see. So that is why this using my simple price action strategy really costs some patience. If you're not a patient person, so therefore this price action strategy is not for you. Because when you're not patient and you're really forcing trades, even though the anticipated move that you are currently waiting is still not happening, so therefore that is called a forced trades, a bad trades. That's it. So I think we could look next to our pairs that we are looking. So NZD USD already approached our area. Possibly we could find some selling opportunities right exactly in this spot. Now as you can see here, price is already rejecting. Still, I will still wait for a proper reject for me to be interested. So as you can see, it's still playing out. Possibly I will wait a much better how could I say this? A much better entry for me to be interested. But looking at it right now, the price already reaches this daily support or resistance level. So all we had to do is to find some selling opportunities right exactly in this spot. As you can see, it's having its move. Now all we had to do is to wait for entry signal. Now as you can see here, after this 1 hour could close, so therefore that is already my entry signal. Possibly targeting this level that it could potentially reject. Right exactly in this spot possibly. So yeah, I guess right exactly in this spot. So therefore we could catch a 1 is to risk reward, maybe possibly much deeper in that. Maybe 1 is 2. Yeah, that is already good enough. So I think all we had to do is to anticipate, not forcing any trades. Because as you can see in the 30-minute, it is already having its move on a 1 hour chart. So we will wait for this to close as engulfing, bearish engulfing, because we are selling. Because price already approached our area. The trend, we already knew that the market structure is bearish. And also, as you can see here in this weekly EMA indicator, possibly it could also use a rejection as a resistance. As you can see, price the weekly EMA is above, so therefore it could act as a resistance. So all we had to do is to wait for this 1 hour bearish and engulfing candlestick to close. So I think that's it for NZD USD. It is already cooking up. Now for the USD CAD, price is above. Once price is above the level, therefore the buying opportunities would be great. Now on the weekly chart, price is above, so therefore this is already our weekly and daily support level. On the daily chart, daily is having its move, price is still above, still not having its pullback. So all we had, that is why we should be patient on catching this trade. We will not force, we will wait for it to approach the exact level that we are anticipating to enter our opportunities. So price is still above, so therefore no trades will be forced. Next, CAD JPY. We already knew that CAD JPY is bullish. Price still didn't having its breakout on this daily resistance level. So therefore once price could have its break and retest, therefore this setup is already giving us a higher probability setup. Because once price is below, there's no point entering a buying opportunities if there is a strong resistance level above. Because you can see, if we are entering right exactly in this spot, because we are even though price still acting the anticipated move that we are waiting, possibly it could just having its rejection, hit our stop loss, retest again the strong weekly support, then go back to our exact anticipated move. That is why catching this high probability setup is better than taking some low probability setup. It's much cleaner and giving or make our this would make our psychology much better because we are not forcing any trades. We are just waiting for a much cleaner or much higher probability setup. So all we had to do for CAD JPY, wait for the break and retest for us to be interested. Because we already know that weekly is in a potential higher low. Once price is at a potential higher low, so therefore it could potentially create a new higher high structure on the weekly and also on the daily. So yeah, we will still wait, not forcing the trades. This is how my simple price action strategy works. Just my edge is just the patient. That's it. So maybe we could look on a 30-minute. Let's see how the market moves. Now this is in a bullish trend already. As you can see here, higher high, higher low structure, creating this bullish trend. It is just having its rejection on this weekly support level, potentially that bullish momentum. If potential, it could continue. So therefore, it could have its breakout in the strong resistance level, then continue push to the upside. So I think that's it. JBP JPY is next. JBP JPY is the same move as CAD JPY. Once the CAD JPY having its breakout on a daily resistance level, the same on the JBP JPY. Because once it is having its rejection, its massive push to the upside, therefore the same of the JBP JPY pairs. Now, as you can see here also, I have explained on the news. Maybe we could watch on the news a little bit. I have told you guys that this pre-London session, the GBP news is really the GBP pairs is really weakening. As you can see here, there is a 5% down. So therefore, this trade affects our setup because the JBP JPY pair has a JBP pair. Now, as you can see here on the current price action on JBP JPY, once the JBP JPY having its strong, once it gets stronger, therefore it could have its push to the upside. Once the JPY pairs could weaken, therefore it could have its push to the downside. But as you can see here on the news, possibly this news doesn't much affected the setups that we had on GBP. Even though the GBP pairs is having a really in a 5% down. Possibly, I just indicate that the GBP is weakening 5%. So therefore, I would be the price action if that news is really have a higher impact. So possibly it could have is push to the downside, but the news didn't much affect the setup. So that is why I just lean much towards the price action or technical, because it will just give me a much cleaner view, because I'll just use the news as a catalyst. I have posted it also and I have explained it also on the ACY website. Now, let me share you guys a little bit. Now, as you can see here, I have posted this also on the website. Possibly, maybe we could look on the break and retest. So as you can see here on the break and retest, I have also explained it on the news and market analysis. Maybe we could go to the latest news. Now, as you can see here on gold, I have explained here what is the best way to trade the potential consolidation. Right, exactly. I've explained that we will use the break and retest pattern. And I have explained here also that how will the fundamental data impact our technical setups. Now, I have said here that at the moment, the exact impact of the fundamentals remain uncertain, because I won't really know whether what would be or how could it affect the setups that we had. even though it could give some hype impacts, even though it is NFP, it's really uncertain. It could just give you the exact movement exactly on that time. So therefore, we won't not the same for the price action for the technical analysis, because before, once we have our analysis, therefore we could have our anticipation that where could the market could go. The fundamental side works different, because the exact impact of the fundamental just remain uncertain. It could just have its affection once the time could have started. Once it is already scheduled in that time, it could have its move on that exact time. So therefore, we really it will just remain uncertain. It will just act. That is why I also explained here that the exact outcomes of the fundamental is still uncertain, but from my own experience, news often just act as a catalyst for a price action move that was already setting up. So that's it. That is why I only use the news as as whether it could give me a volatility in the markets. So I think looking back to our chart. So as you can see here on the GBP JPY, still the news didn't really affected much on the setups that we had. So all we had to do is to lean much on the technical side, wait for the break and retest for us to be interested. So lastly, the last pair is GBP CAD. Now, as you can see here, price already approached our area. So therefore, we will look for the entry signal. Not forcing any trades, because it's still having its move. But looking on a 30-minute, it is already having its breakout. Now, as you can see here, breakout on this daily resistance level. Therefore, it is already acting as a support. Now, again, creating this new breakout, breaking this support level, and potentially acting again as a resistance. So all we have to do is to wait for an entry signal, a bearish engulfing for us to be interested, and possibly targeting a 1:2 risk reward. Possibly right exactly, no, maybe we could catch a 1:3 risk reward right exactly in this area or spot that it could potentially react. As you can see here, right after price approaches this area, massively push to the upside. As you can see here, touches, push. Here, it broke out once, but there is a lot of touches and rejection on this exact spot. So yeah, I think all we have to do is to be patient, not to force any trades, waiting for a much higher probability setup. So yeah, I think that's it. Hopefully you enjoyed for today's live trading session. So just a little market update. Any question about it? Feel free to ask, guys. Yeah. So I think that's it. All we had to do is to be patient, wait for the markets to approach the exact areas that we are waiting. So and also, guys, and if you're still learning or don't have time to analyze the markets every day, you could just check out our trading app. So you'll be able to follow experienced traders and copy trades in real time while learning the markets. And also, you could copy trades, like I have said, and manage your trades professionally. It is a simple way to involve in the market without overcomplicating the process. And by the way, the link is in the description below for our trading cup. Now, all you have to do is, as you can see here, a lot of traders actually do use their own analysis. So if you actually want other people to use their own analysis and you are just going to invest for that kind of trader. So you could just copy their analysis, and a lot of them really use a great strategy in the markets. So yeah, I think that's it. And also, if you found value in this session, make sure to smash the like button and subscribe so you never miss the daily market updates, live breakdowns, and high probability price action setups throughout the week. Now, I appreciate you all for being here. Hope you got value from today's session. Uh, and I also appreciate you all for being here, and hopefully you got value from today's session, and hopefully you will also use my trade ideas in the real markets. So, and by the way, I also want you guys to know, stay disciplined, manage your risk, and always remember, set and forget. Have a great day. Take care, and I'll see you in the next live trading session. So hopefully you enjoy this live trading session, and probably you have gained some ideas, market insight that you could possibly use it in the real markets. So hopefully, by the way, I am posting my market analysis daily on the ACY website. The link is in the description below. All you have to do is to go towards our ACY Securities website, and possibly you could also gain some free trade ideas. So I think that's it. So yeah. And by the way, see you guys